Hello everyone and welcome back to the Skizzlecraft server. I am RedWolf416. Thank you for joining me today. As you can see, I am standing on top of a very tall tower. Let's fly around and take a look at this really quick. So off camera, I completed this tower here that has a bunch of wall blocks in the middle of it, and they are going to act as my vertical redstone control panel, going all the way down into the basement from the AFK platform way up high. They're coming down here, and there's something that I have noticed that you can't really see from in here. This is where that tower is coming down. You can see the hole that I've dug where I've got the observers at the bottom, that they're going to be reading what is going on with the wall blocks that are buried in the center of this, wall blocks that are going to be buried in the center of this. But what you can't see from down here, you will be able to see from out here. Hey Trends, thank you for joining. Yeah, here's the problem right here. This is the outer edge of my creeper farm right here. It's going to get some tinted glass blocks put in here, but this is the edge of my tower. And I'm not a fan of how it sticks out by one block. And I realized only after I finished building this entire thing that I actually have room to move it in just a little bit by one block. And there's room in here to do so as well. So unfortunately, that is how we are going to be starting the stream. But that is a lot to take out and a lot to build back up. And I want to make things a little speedier. So we're going to do a little bit of beacon work here. And I need to make a spot for this beacon to go because I want it to be close enough to where it's actually going to have a positive effect on me. Also, I did find off camera there is a cave underneath this tower, just underneath where I was digging the hole for that tower there, the redstone wiring wall tower. Yeah, there's a cave under there that I need to light up. So maybe that's what we're going to be doing, maybe not. I do know that it's going to cause a problem with my spawn rates because my tower is just high enough to start spawns down here. The distance is 24 blocks from the player to where hostile mobs can start spawning at the minimum, and I have that platform 30 blocks above this right here, and it extends all the way down to 128 blocks. Now my tower AFK platform is at 130 in Y, so that means that all the way down to 0, which currently we are at, if I'm standing here, we are at 63. That means the spawning radius goes all the way down to Y positive 2, which is quite a bit further down into the ground. So any caves that are below my creeper farm, they need to be lit up. But we need to take care of shifting this tower around, and I have just the thing for that. We are going to build ourselves a beacon. Let's grab those iron blocks as well, or iron ingots. And I don't need 2 beacons. I mean, I could make 2 beacons. I probably have enough iron blocks. We're just going to do 1 for right now. And I want to get rid of some of this sand. So let's just get this beacon going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to be 9 by 9 on the base. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll get this in here right quick. I'm going to remove my rockets so that I don't accidentally blast off a bunch of rockets each time I run out of a stack of blocks in my right hand. Also, you may have noticed that my elytra is getting a little bit low. So we're probably going to have to make a trip out to the Ender and get some stuff recharged. And when I do some caving, I am going to have to put my armor back on because it might get a little spicy down there, and I am not properly attired for that. Now, the music we are listening to is it is called Stream Beats by Harris Heller. It is DMCA free music that can be found on Spotify, and the album that we are listening to is Pixels. Nice video game music going on there. Let's get this going so we can use our pick properly. I am not getting the full... Oh, there we go. Alright, I remember how to use beacons. Now I should be able to clear out this tower just a little bit quicker by doing that. I think I've got enough elytra in me to get this tower taken down. Probably not enough to build it back up, but we shall see here. Sleep as soon as I can. And I have to pause here for just a second. There's something I neglected to do, I think. Nope, we're all good. All right, let's get up to the top of that tower and we will start mining down from the top. Now I'll explain as I'm doing it, maybe a little bit as I'm building it, but definitely, or maybe a little bit as I'm taking it down, but definitely I will explain it as I'm building it up too. Because I do have something that I feel is kind of unique going on with this. But you may or may not know that wall blocks have a state change. You can see how this is an end block here. This is a center block on the wall blocks. And when they change like that, observers down at the bottom can actually read that state change and send a redstone pulse. So anytime you have an observer looking at a wall, especially if you look at it from the bottom, and you change something at the top of the wall, like putting a solid block next to it, it will change the state of that wall, and that's what the observer reads, which is a very handy way of sending a redstone signal downward, especially long distances. Now, this is something that is not new. It's been around for a while. A lot of people utilize it. I haven't seen anybody use it quite the way I'm going to be doing here, where I am making it so that in this case, this block or this wall section is 3 blocks high, or sorry, 3 blocks wide, and therefore I will be able to send 3 separate redstone signals down. You know what, this might be quicker if I just do all the walls at once. I can send 3 signals down right next to each other without them interfering with each other. And you notice that on the outside of this tower, it looked like I had solid blocks. And in fact, what I have are stair blocks here. And that is the key to this tower. I can make it look like there's solid blocks surrounding the walls, but they don't actually connect to the walls, so they don't change the state of the walls. If these were all solid blocks here, they would be connecting to the walls, and they would always stay as end pieces, essentially, or intersection pieces. And you'll kind of get the idea of that when I start building this back up. But for now, I just want to dig this out. And of course, I was super smart and made this all out of deep slate, which despite me having the beacon, it does not instant mine, which is, you know, a prison of my own making, let's call it that. And once we get this in place, I will be able to start setting up the control panel up top, which may also require a visit to the industrial district to get some copper bulbs. So when we go to repair our elytra at the Ender, we're already going to be halfway to the industrial district. We might as well also grab some copper bulbs in the industrial district or in the shopping district. I'm not sure which I need. Now, I left my AFK platform where it is because it's at the proper height. We're just going to be moving this over by 1 block, which means these observers need to go. We'll just leave the observers down here because they are going to be going back in once we build this. But we got to go back up to the top and start again from the top and work our way down. I think I'll do that twice just because I don't want to have to be chasing blocks all over the place like I'm doing right now. These things popped all over the place while I was mining. Man. Let's see if we've got some right down here. We're on top of the farm. Oh, there's one. And we'll cruise down here. Yep, these things were flying everywhere while I was mining. Now this platform is not going to remain this small. It is actually going to be an entire floor across the whole span of the tower. This is just what I put there while I was working, so I had kind of this marker of where the platform was going to be. Let's get this all to the same level, and then let's start going on clearing out this for sure and this for sure. We may be able to leave this. I'm not sure how I feel about these wall blocks being here. These end blocks will be in the right place for the outer corner. So I'm going to leave these two standing here. But I'm going to have to clear out this section and this section here. So we'll just go across like this and just work our way down. Yeah, not the speediest of mining endeavors, that's for sure. However, once I get this done, like I said, we'll not only be able to hook up the control panel, but we'll also be able to start running the wires underneath the floor down at the bottom in the basement, so we can hopefully turn on the crafter soon. Now, something that I've been thinking about, a possible difficulty that I'm going to run into is I have 3 buttons that I'm going to have on my control panel. One of them is going to be to select duration 2 rockets. One of them is going to be to select duration 3. If I don't have either of those selected, then it's going to just by default be doing duration 1. And then a third button, I was thinking I would have it as a selector between storage and actually crafting the rockets, because there may be a situation where I want to be collecting a bunch of gunpowder or sugarcane, and I don't want rockets being crafted. But the problem is that I'm going to have a pressure plate that I'm standing on that activates both the sugarcane farm and the creeper farm. And it's possible that if I wire up the selector to that, it's possible that the farm won't be ready to craft rockets until enough stuff has filled the droppers in the crafter. So I could either miscraft something and not get it to work, or I could jam up the system by having the wrong recipe get put in there. Like, for example, duration 3 rocket is 1 paper and 3 gunpowder. But if it accidentally ends up putting 2 paper and 2 gunpowder, it's not going to craft anything because that isn't a recipe. So I need to come up with a way to select between whether I'm crafting or not. And what I'm thinking of is there is a circuit that I have to look up, and it's called an AND gate. And what that does is it means that I have to have 2 inputs activated. I have to have input 1 and input 2 activated for something to work. So what I'm thinking is input 1 is just going to turn on the creeper farm and the sugarcane farm without any crafting. And then I'm going to have my selector for crafting, and those 2 inputs are going to have an AND gate connecting them, which means that if I do not have the selector turned on and I am not on the pressure plate at the same time, then I am not going to be able to turn on the crafting. What that'll do is that'll give me a bit of time to build up a surplus of my gunpowder and sugarcane, and therefore paper, before I actually start crafting anything. And that would hopefully keep from jamming up the system. Alright, it looks like we have filled our pockets. Let's just deposit some of this stuff. It is a lot of wall blocks and stair blocks to be able to do this kind of build. That is one of the big drawbacks of this. I gotta look to see if any blocks are strewn about the ground somewhere. Yeah, there are a few. Come on, let me get that. Oh, there's some more over here. Apparently, I am a messy miner. Check our wings. Yeah, we've still got it in us. Looks like it's almost bedtime, too. I may have to hasten downward and sleep. Ow! I hit that a little too hard. Let's just go sleep. Alright, and now let's also get rid of this. And it looks like after that smack to the face, I need to eat some food. And back up we go. And let's finish this portion. And then I think it's time to go repair some stuff and maybe do a little bit of shopping. Yeah, I spent a while the other day building this up, and only as I finished it did I discover that maybe, just maybe, there could be a better placement for it. Now, something also that's interesting about doing this wall block with stair blocks next to it technique, which, mind you, if I have the stair blocks facing the wrong way, they will connect with the, sorry, if I have the stair blocks facing the wrong way, they will connect with the wall blocks, and that'll be a problem. But this method with having the stair blocks facing the way that they are is I can put solid blocks on the outside of this tower without any fear of it affecting the wall blocks that are within the tower. Which means that all my other build that I do around this shouldn't interfere with my tower. Shouldn't interfere with my redstone signal. Oh, we need that one to stay there. That is actually part of the creeper farm frame, so I need to be careful of that now. Not going to be digging quite as far this time over to the side. Thank you, Trends, for offering to sleep whenever I need it. I mean, feel free. Feel free. I won't ask you to do it, but if you feel like doing it, it is appreciated. So, makes it a little bit easier knowing that somebody's going to sleep. But I can't always fly down. It's not a big deal. I can go to my bed. It's always good to make sure my spawn is set anyway. We are almost done dismantling this. I'm going to leave that there. That's sort of a little bit of the frame. Those solid blocks are not going to be a problem because here's where the wall blocks are going to go. And I'll just show you really quick. If I put the wall blocks here, these solid blocks on the ends are not going to negatively affect it. These are still going to be read as center wall blocks. It won't be until a solid block, which we'll use the back of the stairs now. It won't be until a solid block gets pushed up against it that it's going to matter. And what's really cool, the thing that I'm going to be using is, instead of solid blocks to affect a change on those wall blocks, is I am going to be using trapdoors, because trapdoors can be moved with the redstone signal. And so then when a trapdoor is horizontal, it will not connect to the wall block, but when it folds down to a vertical position, it will connect with the wall block if it's oriented correctly. Again, it's a lot of words that may or may not make sense. I will be able to demonstrate it once we get this taken care of. This bit of wall block needs to be taken out here. And not sure about that one. We'll see. It looks like I probably need to eat some more food again. I've been doing a lot of digging work. It's kind of hard to see those blocks sometimes when they're just lying there. But I think that's good. Let's take these back down to the basement. Oh, I think I see one down here. Yeah, there we go. And then let's go get us some copper bulbs. I do have my redstone box here. Oh, I do have 7 copper bulbs. Okay, I might not need any. Well, I'll need some, yeah. Yeah, because some of the other wiring that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to need more. So let's go get some copper bulbs. Let's go get something else. And yeah, so some shopping district stuff and some elytra repair. I'm going to grab the rest of my armor here. See what might need repairing. Not a whole lot. Let's do the work boots. Trenzalore Bound gave me these work boots. I should wear them. I don't think I need the chest plate. I'm not going to use that. I'll be using my wings. But thank you, Trends, for the boots. And let's put this in. Not my shovel. Put that in there. What else? We need some more rockets. We are running low. And yes, I could go buy more, but the whole reason I'm building this is to get more rockets. And just because I want to. Let's head on over to the shopping district and then to the Ender so we can come back here and continue with building that tower back up. So, Trenzalore, what tunnel is your base claim at? Like, mine is the north tunnel. I didn't know if you were too far west to where you actually had to build your tunnel out of the west tunnel, or if you're also on the north tunnel. We'll see if he responds. Let's get going towards that. Well, I could fly straight to the Ender, but honestly, I want to do my shopping first. North tunnel, almost to the end. All right, so we're down the same tunnel. That's cool. Let's see here. Shopping. Okay. Now, I am not sure. Can we get rid of this rain? Nope. I am not sure where I would find copper bulbs. So, as usual, I have to look through the books. Rockets. Guidance. Okay, not down that path. Well, I'm not sure which one it would be. Trenzalore is saying lamp, but let me see. Oh, like the lava lamp? We'll get there when we get there. We'll see if that's it. Having to constantly go through these names, or these shop names and supplies and stuff, makes me want to like make a make a spreadsheet and make it so that if I selected an item that I wanted, it would just tell me what store it's at and its location. Redstone Parts and Services. What's it called? The Automated Armory. It's at 3040. Okay, I better... let's see here. Board's head. Is that all I need? Yeah. 3040 is what it said. Oh, I passed it. Well, I see what looks like redstone dust. What is this? Frosty Paws? No. Oh, here we go. Oh, not what I want. Oh, let's see here. All right, let's try something else. We're gonna look something up. See a crafting table here. Let's see here. Copper bulb. Yeah, I don't... Okay. There we go. Blaze rod. Okay, I could go to the blaze farm and get some blaze rods. I have plenty of copper and redstone. I might just make some of these. I do want to go over here though, so let's grab some diamonds. And we are going to do something here. Three, let's see here, 1, 2. There we go. All right, excuse me. Okay, I need one of my empty shulkers. And we'll just put that there for right now. We need some of these. We'll put these in here. This is for future nether work. Yeah, I won't forget to put the witch's teeth in there. And let's get one more. So there's a little less in there than I was hoping for, but that's okay. We'll just do that. Let's see if we can find something else that would work. Magic vision, slipperiness, stone skin, levitation, strength. Yeah, just seeing what they've got here. Let's do 2 of these. There we go. Alrighty, and we'll put this in here. We have that for later. And now Maybe there is a shop that sells blaze rods, though. Let's see if anything obviously stands out. If not, we'll go to the blaze farm. Hold on, I see something interesting. What is this? Okay. That's okay. We don't need this stuff. It's a very interesting shop, though. Alright, we need to get to that Ender real soon. Just gonna take a quick look around. Alright, let's get going to that Ender. And actually, I thought of something else. Do I have... I don't have any gold on me. Alright, I was gonna look for something else. West, south. This is the direction we want to go. How many blaze rods am I needing? I don't know. I've got enough copper bulbs to keep me busy for a while. At first I only need 6 and I have 7. So I think I'm alright. Honestly, you know, it's I'm getting distracted from what my original goal was. So I don't want to get too distracted with the copper bulbs, the blaze rods, and stuff like that. Let's see. Let's get that pick in our hand as well. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Ah, just remembered. Look at all those ender pearls I just picked up. And then this is what I usually do when I'm at the ender. Because I do not need to pick up any more ender pearls. I have like an entire shulker full of them somewhere. Trenzalore, thank you for the offer on the blaze rods. I will let you know if I need them. Now the elytra is fixed, the pick is next, and then the hoe, the axe, all that. Maybe we'll see if we can get our levels up too. Had a couple of unfortunate encounters with solid objects while flying at high velocity while working on building my tower. So as you can see, my levels aren't that great right now. Just swap that out for the shovel. Holy cow, Trenzalore, you got all kinds of blaze rods. 63. Alright, well, I will keep you posted. Might have to be at a future time. Okay, and then we need that. I think that's everything that can be mended is mended now, but it shouldn't take us too long to see if we can get up to level 30 here. Let's just do that really quick. I keep bouncing back and forth between the sides of the ender because each time I slash at them, a lot of them kind of bounce back to the other side. So this just kind of makes it so I have easier access to them. Alright, only a few more swipes should do it. Then we'll dump all these ender pearls down into the void. There we go. Okay, we are at level 30. Let's get rid of those guys. And I need to get my diamonds back in my treasure box. There we go. Okay, let's head back to the tower. We are about to enter into the more tedious phase of this, unfortunately. Oh, that's right. Last place I slept was here, not at my house. Alright, that's okay. Well, let's see something. I want to see... How far does Voxy see? Yeah, okay. Not near my place. We were close enough, I might have just flown there, but... We're going to do the multiverse portals. Now we can get back to doing the original plan here, which was to sleep, right? Maybe? Okay. Now, I gotta make sure I actually put this in the right place. Let me take a look here. Survey says this is the outside of the tower. That means that this is the wall right here. So I'm gonna get those observers placed in the right spot. That'll kind of be my bookmark, so to speak. Outside wall, wall blocks. And we're going to have one of these facing out this way and two facing in. That is now our starting point for this build. And we're just going to start with the wall blocks at first. Oh, missed. We'll come over here and drop down on it this way. Ugh, I can't get up there. I can't get up there. We'll do something silly like leave a crafting table here or something. There we go. That was silly. Now there's something there that I don't need there. Yeah, well, I have plenty of logs and wood. I can make more. Alright, so we are at 50 in Y. We need to go all the way up at least to 130. So, let's get going on it. I'll see if I can be quick about it. And for a little bit, you are going to see some end blocks here, end wall blocks, that I will have to cap at the ends with some... No, we don't don't need you guys here. I will cap them with some stone blocks on the ends here, like this, after we come through. In fact, let's put one in right here, right now, so we don't have a hole. It's times like this where I'm very glad that I got myself an ergonomic mouse and some wrist rests. Because take care of your wrists and hands, folks. If you are on the computer a lot, I had a bout earlier this year with some tendonitis in my left wrist. Thank goodness it was not carpal tunnel, but I had a while where I could not really rotate my left wrist that far at all. It turned out it was because of the awkward position that I was holding my left wrist in to use keyboard shortcuts for my day job. I had to get myself one of those split keyboards where you can do what's called tenting with them. You angle it. And then I also got myself what's called a vertical mouse. And those have done wonders to pull me out of that bout of tendonitis. So take care of your wrists. Take care of your bodies, folks. Especially if you have a job where you do a bunch of repetitive tasks. It doesn't necessarily mean computer. It could be blue-collar work, whatever. If you are doing repetitive stuff. I thought I had to go to 130. Oh, that's right. I was at the top of the farm is at 89, so I was rounding it off to 90. And I needed to go 30 above that, which was 120. And we're going to carry it up one more, just so that I have some room to play with. Yeah, that should be good right there. We'll deal with it that way. And I did see some blocks fall down somewhere. I'm just trying to see if they ended up on my farm or all the way down in the basement. It just occurred to me I'm all decked out in my armor. I don't need everything here. I'll keep the pants and the boots on. I don't need the helmet unless I go into the nether. The boots are definitely helping having the feather falling on. I'm less likely to splat. So, yes, thank you, Trends, for the work boots. Okay, sorry about that little pause, folks. Had a little miscommunication issue going on. And we are back. Okay. These spots. I have some tinted glass that can go in now. I gotta double check to see if tinted glass will actually connect to the wall blocks. Because that would be a real bummer if it didn't, but it wouldn't be a huge deal. Let's see here. Go that. Okay, that'll be fine. I see it connecting right here. It's still an end block because of the other places where it's not connected above this. Oh, hello. I will take care of that as I go up. In fact, ow, ow! My face! That was not nice. It was very rude. Okay. Actually, what I should have brought is more blocks with me. Alright, let's just do this. We'll plug that hole. That one. We'll just work our way back down to where we've got our supplies, because it is time to bring in the solid blocks. Ow! We'll just put this here. I think we're done with the wall blocks for right now. We need more of these, though. We're probably going to need a lot more. We need that there. We need this on this side. Maybe we can get rid of that stair. And we'll fix this little cubby hole here. We'll figure out a way to make this wall and this wall match. We may be turning a corner here or something. Decoratively, anyway. Ooh, that went further than I thought. Alright, let's fill that hole. I don't like holes left in stuff. There we go. Okay, we've got this lower portion. We need to get that up there and continue on upwards. So let's go up. And then after we get these end caps in, we will be able to start working on the stair blocks, which is, like I said, that is where it gets really tedious. Yeah. Ah. Oh no. Oh, they're just goofing off. All right. No worries. Let's set a spawn here. I think my spawn was possibly still in the shopping district. I don't know if I have enough of these blocks on me to finish this. Guess we'll find out when we get up there. Nope, not quite enough. Let's just make a couple more of these. There we go. Alright, and then what else are we needing? I think that's it for right now. And let's eat some food again. I'm smacking my face all over the place. Let's see if we can do this here. Oh, I couldn't quite go high enough. Yeah, it'll definitely be time to make a bubble vader before too long. It occurs to me now I probably need to be building up on this corner as well at the same time. Sort of like this. Now before I did have wall blocks in the corners, so I do have an excess of extra wall blocks now. But I decided that I didn't like the roundedness considering how the rest of this rocket factory tower is looking. So this is what we are doing. We're making it squared corners. Okay, now you can see how, because I've done that, all of these wall blocks are center wall blocks all the way down. But like I said before, if I was to pop a solid block in there, whether it's with a piston pushing it in or a trapdoor flipping up, it now creates an end wall block all the way down to the bottom, which the observer will observe. Looks like we need another stack of these. What am I doing there? That is not the right place. That was also not what I wanted to do. My brain just completely malfunctioned there. I'm sure I can find a use for the bricks, though. Let's get these up. Now, this is still the boring part of it. I mean, the next part isn't necessarily thrilling either, but at least the placement of the stairs is what really makes this work. So that's kind of a little bit more interesting, I guess, in my opinion. All right, let's just hop down here. I need to get rid of that. I bet that's what you wanted to see in stream, was just my face smearing along a wall. I need to get this ladder out of here because these steps are not going to be able to connect. So say goodbye to the ladder. Oh no, Trends. It's good to see you. And I think we're good. All right, let's get rid of some of these things here. And we'll grab some more stairs, not those stairs. This is going to take a lot, so I'm filling my inventory as much as I can here. Let's just start on this side here. We kind of just got to go through this one tower at a time, and we've got 6 towers to do. So I'm gonna get rid of my rockets so I don't send off more on accident, and let's just get going on this. See how I have a spot that I don't like the sandstone being in there. It's going to be hidden to the rest of the world, but I'm going to know it's there, and it's going to bother me. Now that's better than accidentally blasting off some rockets every time. All right, and let's float down in the corner again. There we go. And now to do it on this side. This stretch over here, or this 1 block wide gap that goes all the way up to the top, that may become like I don't know, a Secret Service entrance or something like that. Maybe that could be where I put a bubble column or something. I do have plans to do my elevators over there though, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, and then we float down again. While we're floating, let's get a few more pieces in our hands. It sounds like my music has stopped. So let's take care of that really quick. That album was Pixel. And now we are going to do the album Lifestyle. And up we go. Now, I want you to see this. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but as the stair blocks connect with each other, on the outside they end up looking like solid blocks. On the inside they are not solid blocks, and that's what keeps the walls from connecting to them. So currently where I am right now, we are going through a wonderful winter storm, and there's all kinds of snow falling on the ground. So me and my pack are huddled down enjoying the nice warmth. I hope everybody else is enjoying just some cozy wintertime in their houses and staying off the roads, staying safe. We've only got this one and 2 more to do, and then this tower is done, and I think I'll be able to start showing you how I'm going to be wiring this up. Alright, now we've gone down. Now we can just hop our... Oh, that's not good. That will cause problems. Let's go down here. Get that. Okay, we gotta... This is the unfortunate side of having to do this method, is that if there is a mistake, like that, you sometimes have to start over, because this really only works if you're going from the bottom up. So I got to be careful how I'm stepping on these things. So if I step in the wrong spot and I'm holding down my right click, my right mouse button, I am going to start putting stairs in the wrong spot and in the wrong orientation, and it's just going to mess everything up. Looks like it might be getting to be nighttime. I really don't want to stop. Okay, there we go. Let's go sleep. And we'll finish that center section. Hey, welcome back, Trends. Come down here, and okay, this is going to be a little trickier than the last one, unless I just put a temporary block here, which is really the smart thing to do. This is the last one. This is going to give us a solid tower all the way, well, I say solid, it's going to look solid all the way up, but with wall blocks on the inside that are not connected to anything other than the end caps. Okay, so this is the location of our control panel, which we are going to be doing right here. This is where we're going to be connecting our control panel up. And I want to be able to show how that's going to work. So let's start building this out. I need to go get some more solid blocks. I need to get my redstone box. And I need to make some iron trapdoors. Yeah. Yes. Now this is not going to include the wiring for the pressure plate to turn on everything. Yeah, this control panel is more of just the selector for if I am doing 1, 2, or 3, which I'm going to have to fill that in now. Duration 1, 2, or 3 rockets. That's what this selector is for. Let's make sure, let's get a bunch of this stuff, because this is what I like to use for my wiring if I need it. Let's hear. I need some iron. I don't think I need glass. I am going to want some buttons, but I think I'm going to do blackstone buttons for that later. That's just going to be for resetting stuff. And I don't need a barrel. I do need all of this stuff here. I'm going to have to make some comparators. So let's pull a few things in here too. We're going to need some cobble. We're going to need some stone. And we'll throw the iron in there. Okay, hopefully that's enough. If it's not, I can come back down or go back down to the outside to make the components that I need. Oh, I remember something else I need. More of that. Got to build out that platform if I'm going to do this wiring. Excuse me. And now that we don't have a ladder up there. So there is our Tower of Power. And we're just going to bring this out here a little bit further. That's the outside. We might do this. I kind of wish that the control panel wasn't jammed right up against the wall here, but it just might have to be that way. There might be a way that I can figure out how to route it a little bit differently, but for now, this is what we got to do. So let's get that redstone box. And we need some trapdoors. And I choose iron so that they don't accidentally get flipped. That is not it. And we only need 3, actually. I made 1 too many, but we might need more later. I don't know. So here's a cool bit. If I have those like that, they're going to hinge down and against those wall blocks. They are not connected right now, but if I were to actually do something like this, okay, now I'm confused. That was supposed to work. Oh. Is that a... Oh, that's why. That is not a solid block that those are on. Those are stairs. Stairs cannot pass a redstone signal through. Apparently my inventory is very full. Let's just fix this really quick. There we go. Okay, so when I push this, you can see that it connects right there. Oh, okay. Yep, I have some more fixing to do. My mistake. these cannot be wall blocks up here. So you can have a solid block connecting to the top of the wall blocks and it will not create the end wall pieces. But I can't have any solid blocks connecting to the sides of the wall blocks because then it will create the end pieces. So I need to cap this off here like that. Now, we don't have an end piece. Now we do. This is how we're going to have it work, except for we're not going to have the signal come in up here. We're going to have it come in straight in front. I can remember how I did it in my creative world. So we're going to take some of these. We don't need this. What we do need is this to go here. I'll do this on one first to make sure I'm doing it right. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna do one here, and we're gonna get a couple of these. I don't know why I went into the crafter for that, but I did. We're gonna do two of these. And this is actually not where the control panel is going to be. The control panel is going to be out here by a little bit. This is just where it connects to the wall. We're going to take a temporary block in here, and then we're going to need to grab a copper bulb. That goes there. And now I'll put the button on the side for right now, just to show you how it's going to work. This isn't the button that I'm going to use. I want to use a Blackstone button, but I want to be able to demonstrate this. Let's see what a comparator needs. Some torches, some smooth stone, and some quartz. What can we get rid of in here? This, we need to make some torches, which means we need some of this stuff. And we're going to need smooth stone, so let's get that. I'm going to need 9 comparators total. No, 3 comparators total, at least at the beginning. So I need 9 torches. And then we're going to do that. And we'll toss that down. And what else can we get rid of? Let's bring the repeaters in here. And we actually do need the redstone dust. Maybe. Not up here, we don't. But here's how it goes. The copper lamp puts out a weak signal. And it's so weak that if I were to put, say, a repeater here, it is not enough to activate the repeater. But what's nice about the copper bulb is that it acts as a T flip-flop. So I push the button once, it turns the lamp on. Even when the button is off, the lamp stays on. I push the button again, it turns the lamp off. So that allows me to turn on and leave it on without a lever. Honestly, I don't like levers. I don't like the way they look. The functionality of the lever is great, but the way they look just bothers me. So I prefer buttons if I can use them, and so having a T flip-flop turns a button into a lever. So instead of a repeater, we actually need to put a comparator here, and then to strengthen that signal, to make it strong enough to power that block strongly, which will power that trap door there, we need a repeater. So now we have the trapdoor activated, which means the wall block is now an end block, and if we turn it off, it is now a center block. And that is how we are going to toggle certain things on and off. And now, I probably should have brought my shulker box with me when I came down here. I don't have the room for it. Let's put a couple things in here. Okay, now this is one of 3, but I want to show you how this is going to function with everything else, so you kind of get the idea. So that one on the right is actually going to be the... I want that to be the number 3 rockets, duration 3. So there is a piston right under here, which, where are we? We're at 3272 and 4357. That is what I want to be activated by this one here. And now that I see it, I think that I want to switch around these observers here. Let's do that. Now we're going to switch back to observers, and I want this one to go this way. I want this one to go this way. So that one, when we're facing the control panel, it's going to be on the far right. That's going to be the one that activates the number 3, or duration number 3 rockets. So we actually need to take a signal from this and continue it on out that way with toggling on and off. And so the way we're going to do this is we're actually going to use copper bulbs again, because when I was trying to remember why that is, because I can't take this block away. Well, no, I can take this block away and show you what's going on. When this wall block turns into an end wall block, it's going to turn on, but this is just going to read a moment of change, which means it's going to blink, it's going to pulse. It actually might even do a double pulse. I can't remember which. So this observer is also going to see that observer. It's also going to do a pulse. So while we have a T flip-flop up there, which turns the wall on permanently, it does not translate into a on signal, always on signal down here. So we need to do another copper bulb. And I will grab my redstone box. And I believe, this is going to take some back and forth the first time or so to explain this, but I believe the signal is fast enough to where this will just turn on and stay on, but we need to test that. I know I tested this in my creative world, but honestly that was several days ago and I don't remember what it was. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go up to the top, which, hold on just a second, I need to check on something. We are going to go, I had to check to make sure I didn't have y'all muted again, like I've done many times before. Or not you muted, but me muted. Okay, so we're going to check this by flipping this, turning it on, and ideally that copper bulb down below should be on. It is. Good. That's what we need. So that means that down here we need another repeat or comparator and repeater setup. Which means I needed to make 6 of those comparators, to be honest. And then what I like to do also is move that torch for one. What I like to do is on these comparators, or on these copper bulbs down here, they sometimes get out of sync. If I hit a button too fast and the signal hasn't reached them yet, this one will be on when it should be off. We're going to create a little reset button here. And then we need this here, so we can do a comparator. Saying that it's on. We're going to do that again here. Now let's pick up those blocks. We can't. They shall despawn. That's okay. Repeater. And then we are going to do a solid block here. So now that solid block is powered on. This is where it starts to get interesting. The height at which the redstone wiring is at matters. We're going to put this back over here. It matters because it determines whether or not it actually connects to neighboring redstone wire. And this one, we need it to be at a medium level, whereas the duration 2 needs to be at a high level. I know that doesn't make sense the way I'm saying it, but it will once I actually make the wiring. So with this being at a medium level, we need to have this down here, and we need some redstone dust, and I have destroyed my scaffolding. We'll get rid of a few of those. Let's go pick up some of our other garbage. And then let's get this redstone dust in here. And probably what I'm going to do in a little bit is I'm going to hollow out this area. But I just want you to see how this is working. So let's do a let's make a new exit for ourselves too. Oh, hi there. Just block you off for right now. All right, we are gonna need some room here. I will hollow this out more in a little while, but I want to be able to show you how this wiring is going to work. So this is the duration 3 line. And what we need is the duration 1 or duration 2 line. So we're going to do another copper bulb here, and I will just use a button to activate this one so that I can show you what it's supposed to look like, and that way we can test whether it's working or not. Need headroom to move around. Okay, that's fine. Oh, and that strongly powers, so we actually don't, now that I think about this, we can do this a slightly different way. This is where the positioning and vertical spacing of the wires does make a difference. So that is a strong enough signal to power that, at least for a little bit. But what we need here on this one is we need a repeater. No, there we go. And then we are going to pull this up here, like this. Now, here's where it matters. If I turn off duration 2, then I have made a horrible mistake because I did this wrong. That is because this block is strongly powered, powering this redstone. Okay, now it's coming back to me. We do have to do something weird with this. We got to drop this down. That will get its power from that one. Come across. And then from here, we are going to go, I need a solid block, I believe. We're going to go up to here. What we're trying to avoid is having this lower line powered by this line up here. Which, now that I think about it, I may have done this wrong. Duration 3 is on. Yeah, this will work. Okay, duration 3 is on. Get this out of the way. Okay, let me explain what's going on here. This took me some time to figure this out. Get all of that stuff out of the way. Oh, I fell into my noodles. Okay, let's turn off duration 3 for right now, and let's get the duration 1 button where it's easier to reach. And I'm okay with that oxidizing, that's fine. Okay, if we turn on duration 2, which when we're at the control panel, it's going to be in the center on the left here. When we turn it on, it's going to power this line only, which this line needs to go to that piston that's hiding right there. Now, duration 3, if I turn this on, it's going to power the piston that is hiding right there. And if I don't have duration 2 on, I still want to be able to make duration 3. So what duration 3 does is it powers duration 2 and 3, because the way this system works is that in order for duration 3 to work, the signal has already passed through duration 2, and that's how we get enough gunpowder in there. So this is going to make it so that duration 2 and 3 pistons are up, even if duration 2 is not turned on, as long as duration 3 is turned on. So if duration 3 is turned off, duration 2 is turned off, we are only going to be getting duration 1 rockets. Those pistons are going to be down. So I need to... my noodles. I need to go and make sure everything is lined up with their appropriate pistons. This one, I need to go over to 3274. We're going to go under the floor to there, and that is for duration 2, which is this one. So this is actually where I need to turn a corner. And since it's getting powered back here, I don't have to have them neighboring each other the entire way. So I can take this one off this way, and what I might actually do is I might have to put in another repeater in here to be able to strongly power that piston. And it could be that this thing is in my way. Nope, that's fine. Some netherrack there. Not sure why. Okay. Oh, that's not netherrack. It looks like netherrack because the glass is there. And I just totally took out my piston. Oh, that's going to be a pain to put back in place, but let's do that so nothing spawns here. Oh, goodness. Oh, that was terrifying. I need to take care of some stuff. Oh my gosh, that scared me. I almost have to go change my pants after that. All right. We'll just go back upstairs. I don't need any creepers exploding me or my redstone. There. Come on. So, did I really just deposit something that I need? Yeah, let's take that. Let's get rid of that. We don't need this many different buttons. Do that for now. Okay. Oh, goodness. That got me shook a little bit. We're going to put this in here so we know that that is where a redstone signal needs to go. And then, I don't know if I can get close enough to position this correctly, but I did. Awesome. Crawl back under here. And now, that is where we need to put our signal, which means that all of this tunneling that I did is entirely unnecessary. Means, actually, let's just use the sandstone I've got in my inventory. Boy, seeing that creeper, I am not ready to open up this area, that's for sure. Let's put another torch right there. And we have to power that thing. And this is where I always get a little hazy on how to do it. I don't want to do a double inverter. In other words, I don't want to have to use redstone torches. But I'm not sure. I need a strong signal going into there. I think we can do this. We might have to take out a little bit of the floor here. Which means that we might want to just put that there like that. This is going to be mostly hidden anyway. So we might be able to do it this way. Let's see. I'm going to do something here. This is getting ridiculous. I'll take that. And I'll take that. Working our way through. Okay. Let's do this for now. I'm probably going to put a solid block here to get a strong signal again. Maybe. I don't know. Let's turn this on. Not by falling in again. Let's turn that on. That gives a pretty strong signal. I need to see what the signal is here. I suppose if I did a solid block here, torch here, redstone to a solid block with another torch. Yeah. Not ideal. I really wanted to avoid having to do some leapfrogging. Am I out of torches again? Okay. See if I can do this without opening up the cave to myself again. Don't need creepers. All right, we're gonna try this. That's off. We want it to be on when it gets to here. That's going to be on. Now, if we do this, I think Huh. That means I need to bring in at least 2 more repeaters. Unless... do that. Ah, this is a problem. Okay. Nope, that is not the problem. Okay. On. Off. Come on. Okay, that means that we can put this back in place, actually. Let's double check this really quick. On. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this thing. There we go. That should be on. Duration 2. Off duration 2. And then on duration 3. Which turns on duration 2. That I can live with. Put this back here. And we can do that. Okay, that bit of noodle work is done. So now we need to figure out where we're going with the duration 3 line. We need to be at 4357, 3272. 3272 is what we're looking for first. This one. Right here. We're going to go like that. Means you can't be there. You're fine. You're providing light. Okay. So we can just dig along here. And this is where we need to go. Which means we need this one here. Need to get rid of this bit of glass. Of course, my inventory is full again. Cannot pick up anything. So we're gonna come here, and I think this one is exposed. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, we're very near where a creeper was. No, he was over there. Okay, we're good. We're good. I think he's hiding right behind this wall, though. Let's see. We're going to do another solid stone here. And let's just open this up so I can move around. No! Oh, you're going to be a pain, aren't you? I don't know which way to place you. We'll just take a guess, and if it isn't right, we'll fix it later. So this, you know, maybe we should move this one back a bit. Put that there. We need a redstone torch. You're going to be off. And we need slabby jabbies. Oh, we need to go up higher with this now. Well, not so much that we need to go up higher. We need to get up to the same height here. So let's change this a little bit. You can go up there. That's better. means that this all needs to be filled in now. At least right there. And how are we doing this? We need one more for you. Oh, I got rid of those. And we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. And now we need to go get one of our nice looking blocks. There we go. All right, it is activated. And that is duration 3. If we turn off duration 3, it should drop both the pistons. This one is down. Oh. Excuse me. There we go. Now you're down. But if we activate duration 2, it only activates duration 2. Okay, so here's the trick to it. And hopefully you already knew this or you had caught on. But when you're using slabs here, a redstone signal cannot travel downward, but it can travel upward. And so what I've done here is made it so when duration 2 is activated on this upper line, it can't accidentally activate duration 3. When duration 3 is activated, it will activate duration 2, and that'll make it so both pistons are up, like so. All right, and if we turn it off, then both pistons will be down. Let's take a look at that. Right now we have it set to duration 3. That piston is up, and that piston is up. And that's what we want. I don't know how I feel about having the piston exposed there, but, you know, it is what it is. And now we have another block that we need to put in place. Why is that? Oh, I see how I did this. My brain did not remember what I did. I think that is the right pattern. How do I get out of my own maze? And I think that I put that other one back in the correct orientation, so we're good to go on that. So let me turn this one. I think it's activated over here. Is it? Yes, it is activated. So that one does need to be on right now. We don't need to reset that. What we do need to do is we need to put this stair back in place, like so. And now I need to eat some food, and let's take a look at what we've got between upstairs and downstairs. It should be that, oh, well, I should take this with me. Oh, just watch that oxidize. Let's take that back. Let's take this, because we do need to set up another control panel switch up top for duration 2 for this to fully work. Looks like shenanigans are afoot. Okay, so we're going to do this, this, and I need to get this button out of here. But before I do that, I need to press it to turn it off. And we're going to need more buttons, but we'll cross that bridge in a second. What we need is a copper bulb. And I need a repeater, and I need another comparator. So let's see. This is going to be tricky. We're going to have to juggle some items around really quick. Oh yeah, the quartz. So we need this here. Nope, not that. I thought I had a repeater. And then we need some buttons. And I really much prefer the blackstone buttons for this build. Let's get that out of there. We don't need that in there. What I do want to do is get some more smooth deep slate. So let's go over here. And I know I have a box with some blackstone. Let's make like 16 of them. Nope, it needs to be the polished. Okay, I don't think we're going to need that many, but we'll do that. And then we need some more smooth deep slate. We don't need this button anymore. Okay, let's see. We're gonna have a button here, a button here, and I'm gonna do something really quick just to make my life a little bit simpler. We're gonna go ahead and set up this one like that. That is gonna be our control panel. And I should have gotten 6 of these, but oh well. We're gonna go with this here, and let's put some redstone elements back in our box here. We don't need all this stuff in here. I'll just build around like this. This is the back side of our control panel, and now this is our front side. Actually, I want these gone. I'm gonna do something else. Let's set up some temporary blocks right up here though. All right, sorry about the crowded view right there. So this is our control panel right here. And I gotta put up signs, but this is our duration 2 button. This is our duration 3 button. If I do duration 2, then we can fly down here and check to make sure it is toggled on. And we don't need to go all the way down into the wiring. We can just take a look here. So duration 2 piston is up, duration 3 piston is down. That functions properly. So let's turn that off, and we'll turn on duration 3. And what we should see is both of them will be up. Okay, we've turned off duration 2. Now we turn on duration 3, and you can see that only that trapdoor is activated. Let's get rid of this stuff. My face. And here we have both duration 2 and duration 3 pistons are up. So that is our control panel toggle for the duration selector. Now, this line here that's going down here, that's going to be the activator for crafting. And that is what we are going to be using this comparator for. Not comparator, this observer for. But we are also going to be using the trapdoor, and so we are going to have to put in an AND switch somewhere over in here, because we're going to be running some more redstone down from the other corner over here using the same method. And I'm not sure how to do the AND switch, so we'll have to look into that. For now, I think this is pretty good. We're going to offload a few things here. Let's take this. Ow! My ankles. And hopefully we've got this lit up enough to where we don't get any creepers in here. I definitely have a big cave system over in here that I have to explore. But that will be for a later time. I don't know if it'll be in the next stream or if it'll be an off-camera thing. But at least we were able to get some of our redstone wired. Let's go turn off that duration 3 button. And call it good for now. So there we go. Duration 3 is turned off. That means that this will only be making duration 1 rockets if I were to turn it on. We'll just get a couple of things in here in prep for what comes next. I'll take a wide view here, see what it's looking like. So it's pretty big. It's getting a little bit more solid than I hoped, but we are going to be doing some terraforming around it. We're going to be bringing this landscape up to here. So the surrounding tower on the outside of this is actually not going to be starting until right about this level here. And it's going to be a monster. It really is. Still working out the details of how that outside tower is going to look. But this area here is where the bubble vader is going to go for going up and down between the AFK platform and the storage and all the inner workings. But we're getting there. We are getting there. So all I can say is thank you all for joining me today on this stream. I really appreciate it. And if you are watching this at a later date on YouTube, thank you also for that. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps me know what kind of content to make. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Bye.